especially under a curtain of rain that smears neon signs into ghostly whispers. Detective Marlowe lit a cigarette, the flame flickering as he stared down the glistening pavement. Another night, another case, he muttered, the smell of smoke and wet asphalt filling the air. A mysterious woman in a red coat appeared through the mist, her heels clicking a rhythm of urgency. "I need your help," she said, voice trembling just enough to catch his attention. Her brother was missing, vanished without a trace from the dimly lit jazz club downtown. Marlowe agreed, drawn to the case by more than just curiosity. There was something off in her eyes. The club was a smoky haze of secrets and muted saxophones, shadows flickering in every corner. He questioned the bartender, who spoke in riddles and glanced nervously over his shoulder. A matchbook dropped on the floor caught Marlowe's eye, an address scrawled hastily inside. At the location, a rundown warehouse pulsed with danger lurking just beyond the cracked door. Inside, Marlowe found a stash of stolen paintings and a note that chilled his blood. The note warned of betrayal, signed by someone who once called the city home. Footsteps echoed. A figure stepped into the dim light, the missing brother, worn and wary. "They set me up," he whispered. "I was the fall guy for a bigger scheme." Marlowe's instincts kicked in time to untangle lies from truth before dawn. They devised a plan to confront the real mastermind, meeting back at the jazz club when the clock struck midnight. Under the watchful eyes of faded portraits and mournful melodies, the culprit revealed themselves, the bartender. With a quick draw and steady aim, Marlowe ended the night's deadly game, the truth finally clear. As the rain eased, Marlowe lit another cigarette, the city waking up, secrets buried once more beneath the morning light. The evening fog curled around the old clock tower as Eliza crept closer, clutching the folded letter in her hand. Her heart pounded with every step. The letter promised a secret buried for decades, hidden right beneath the ticking face above. Old Man Grayson's cryptic warning echoed in her mind. Not all timekeepers guard moments. Some keep shadows. Eliza reached the iron door at the tower's base, her fingers trembling as she found the rusted key taped under the ledge. The door creaked open, revealing a spiral staircase that disappeared into darkness and dust. She took a deep breath and descended, the faint sound of the clocks ticking growing louder in her ears. Midway down, a glimmer caught her eye, a small leather pouch tucked into a crack on the wall. Inside, she found a collection of strange keys and a worn diary belonging to her grandfather, a man she barely knew. Flipping through, cryptic notes mapped a hidden compartment beneath the clock's mechanism. Her fingers quickly found the latch, releasing a panel that revealed a shaded alcove bathed in moonlight. Inside lay an old photograph and a delicate music box, its surface etched with a family crest she recognized. As she opened the music box, a haunting melody filled the silent tower, swirling memories of forgotten days. Eliza's eyes welled up. The photograph showed her grandmother, smiling beneath the clock tower, long before it was abandoned. A folded note inside the box read, "Time seals what the heart never forgets." She realized the secret wasn't gold or jewels, but the preservation of a family's love frozen in time. With a soft smile, Eliza wound the clock's mechanism to resume its silent vigil. The morning light illuminated the tower as she stepped out, the town oblivious to the quiet restoration. Eliza whispered, "Some mysteries aren't lost, they are waiting to be found." As the clock chimed at dawn, she clutched her grandfather's diary close, a new story just beginning. And somewhere in the distance, the clock tower kept its steady beat, a heartbeat echoing through the years. Every morning, Emma stopped by the same cafe for her coffee. It was her little ritual, a quiet moment before the day spun out of control. Today, the cafe was unusually busy. She glanced at the counter, hoping for her usual order, a simple black coffee, no fuss. As she waited, she noticed an elderly man struggling to reach the sugar packets. He was a regular too, always sitting in the corner reading. Emma walked over and offered him one, smiling warmly. "Here, let me help you with that." He looked up, surprised but grateful. "Thank you, young lady. It's the little things that make a morning better," he said. They struck up a conversation, sharing stories about their favorite books and the city's changing streets. Before long, the barista called out, "Emma, your coffee's ready." She took her cup, then turned back to the man and offered, "Would you like to share it with me?" He chuckled softly. "I think I'll stick to my tea, but I'd enjoy the company." They found a cozy spot by the window, watching the world move briskly outside while their conversation slowed to a comfortable pace. Emma realized this unexpected encounter was the best part of her day so far, a reminder that sometimes, slowing down brings new connections. As the cafe began to empty, the man glanced at his watch. "I have to get going, but this was lovely." Emma nodded, feeling a warmth deeper than the coffee in her hands. "Me too. Maybe tomorrow, same time." "I'd like that," he replied with a smile, gathering his things. She watched him leave and took a sip of her coffee, savoring the moment. The barista approached, wiping his hands. "Looks like you made a new friend today." Emma smiled. "Yeah, sometimes the best part of the morning isn't the coffee, it's the company." She gathered her things, ready to face the day with a lighter heart. As she stepped outside, the sun was climbing higher, and the city seemed a little less hurried, a little more welcoming. And Emma knew that every morning held the promise of something new, something warm, just like this last cup of coffee. At 2:45 a.m., Harper's room flickered with the blue glow of a single screen, desperately scanning through static lines of indecipherable code. For weeks, strange signals had burrowed into her radio's frequency, a series of cryptic pulses that no one else seemed to notice. Tonight, armed with her laptop and a hastily brewed coffee, Harper vowed to decode whatever mystery hid in the noise. The pulses formed patterns, eerily resembling a desperate SOS, but distorted beyond easy recognition. Her fingers danced across the keyboard, piecing fragments of signal into tentative words, phrases, and then something alarming. There was a location embedded deep within the code, coordinates near the abandoned lighthouse on the outskirts of town. Something about the message screamed urgency. Harper's heartbeat quickened as she debated whether to tell anyone. Instinct pushed her out the door, the night air biting but thrilling as she cycled toward the lighthouse, the signal growing stronger. The lighthouse stood solemn against the dark sky, its once bright beam shattered and silent. Inside, dusty shadows clung to peeling walls. The source of the signal seemed to be a broken radio transmitter, humming faintly. Suddenly, a sharp noise, a metallic clang echoed behind her. Harper spun, heart pounding, eyes searching the darkness. From the shadows emerged a thin figure, pale and wild-eyed, muttering about being trapped and unheard for years. Harper realized the radio wasn't just a relic. It was a lifeline for someone lost in isolation, sending signals desperate to be found. "You heard me," the stranger whispered, relief flooding his voice as he clutched Harper's hand. Together, they powered up the transmitter fully, sending a clear SOS into the night, summoning the rescue that had eluded him all this time. Sirens wailed in the distance as Harper stayed by his side, watching the first lights of dawn break over the horizon. The mystery signal had been a cry for help, and now, silence was replaced by hope and safety. Back at her desk, Harper smiled. The static finally resolved into a story of survival and human connection. She leaned back as the morning light filled her room, the screen dark now but her heart still racing. Sometimes, she mused aloud, the faintest signal carries the loudest message. Deep within the ancient forest, where sunlight barely touched the ground, a lone wanderer named Ira stumbled upon a peculiar stone. It shimmered faintly, emitting a low hum that seemed to call her by name. Curious, Ira reached out and touched it, and instantly a voice echoed softly in her mind. "Seek the truth beneath the roots." Determined, she followed the whisper down to the forest floor, where thick roots twisted and gnarled like a labyrinth. With every step, the stone's glow grew stronger, lighting a path to a hidden hollow beneath an ancient oak tree. Inside the hollow, Ira discovered a tapestry woven from silver threads and scattered leaves, depicting a forgotten tale. It told of a guardian spirit trapped in stone, bound to protect the forest's heart from an ancient darkness. The voice returned, pleading for release, explaining that only one pure of heart could break the eternal bond. Ira hesitated but reached out once more, touching the tapestry and speaking earnestly. "I am here to free you." In a pulse of radiant light, the stone cracked, revealing a luminous figure emerging, nature's very essence incarnate. The guardian thanked Ira, promising that the forest would thrive and shield her from harm henceforth. As dawn broke, the trees seemed to sway with newfound vitality, and whispers of gratitude filled the air. Ira smiled, feeling a deep connection to the world around her, forever changed by the encounter. The forest was no longer a maze of shadows, but a sanctuary alive with ancient magic restored. From that day forward, Tales spread of the woman who listened to the stone and freed the forest's soul. Ira's journey reminded all that sometimes, the smallest spark of courage can awaken the oldest power. She carried the hollow's silver tapestry as a token, a symbol of hope woven into the heart of the woods. And every so often, when the wind rustled through the leaves, the whisper of the guardian could be heard, a quiet song of peace. Ira knew her path was forever entwined with the forest's destiny, a pact sealed in light and spirit. The whispered promise lingered. Where there is faith, even the oldest chains can break, and darkness gives way to light. The silent hum of the abandoned space station was broken by a single, unexpected ping on the outdated console. Captain Alara, the last crew member, stared in disbelief as the screen flickered to life with a strange, undecipherable frequency. "This can't be right," she muttered, her fingers trembling as she tried to trace the origin of the signal. Outside the viewport, distant stars twinkled coldly, indifferent to the lonely outpost's mystery. Determined, Alara adjusted the receiver, isolating the pattern embedded within the noise, an encrypted message. Her breath caught when the message resolved into words, chilling and clear. "Help us. Repeat, help us." Memories flashed back, the doomed crew that vanished decades ago, whispers of an experiment gone wrong. With renewed purpose, she initiated the station's ancient transmission array, aiming to send a rescue beacon. As the signal soared into the void, the station's systems flickered, awakening something deep within its core. Suddenly, the lights revealed a hidden chamber, untouched by time, illuminated by pulsating alien technology. Ilara stepped inside, her heart pounding as mechanical limbs extended from the walls, assembling a strange device. A message and a cure, she realized, left behind by those who never returned. She connected the device to the mainframe, watching as data streamed in, revealing a way to reverse the catastrophe. Time was short. The station's instability grew, threatening to tear it apart. Working quickly, Ilara uploaded the cure to the distress signal, transforming it into a beacon of salvation. The console beeped erratically, then fell silent as the station stabilized. The unseen threat dissipated. Outside, rescue ships appeared on the horizon, answering the beacon's new call. As the doors desynchronized and opened, Ilara stepped toward the arriving crew, hope rekindled. "Echoes of the past saved us," she whispered, "and now we bring them home." The space station, no longer a tomb, but a testament to perseverance, as new beginnings unfolded beneath distant stars. The old clock in the hallway hadn't worked in years, but that night, it struck midnight with a sound eerily clear. Mara sat on the stairwell, clutching a faded journal she found in the attic earlier that day. Suddenly, a soft whisper curled through the air, barely louder than the tick of a second hand. "Time is waiting." Her eyes darted to the clock, its hands moving backward slowly, as if unraveling time itself. The whispers grew louder, merging into a chorus of voices telling stories from decades past. Mara opened the journal, noticing new words appearing on the page, tales of those who lived in the house, long gone. "They're trapped," the whispers said, lost between moments, waiting to be remembered. Compelled, Mara read aloud, and with every word spoken, the voices brightened, their stories flowing like winds through the room. Shadows danced on the walls, shaped like cheerful ancestors, smiling in gratitude. The clock hands spun faster, then stopped abruptly at 12:01, and silence returned. Mara closed the journal, feeling a warmth spread through the house, as if the past had finally been set free. The next morning, the clock sat still, its magic spent, but the air held a lightness Mara hadn't noticed before. Neighbors stopped by to share forgotten memories and photographs, drawn by an invisible invitation. "You've brought them peace," an elderly neighbor whispered warmly. Mara realized the journal was not just a book, but a bridge between times, waiting for the right voice to awaken it. From that day on, the house was alive with stories, laughter, and the gentle ticking of a clock that now told time true and steady. Mara smiled, understanding the past wasn't lost, merely waiting to be heard again. The whispers had faded, but their echo remained, lingering softly like a cherished secret. And sometimes, just as the clock strikes midnight, Mara swears she hears a thankful murmur, a gentle nudge reminding her that stories never truly end. With one last glance at the silent clock, Mara whispered back, "Thank you for sharing your time with me." The sun struggles to pierce the thick ash clouds blanketing the barren cityscape, casting a muted glow over shattered rubble and twisted metal remnants of a once thriving world. The silence is heavy, broken only by the occasional creak of unstable structures. Mira moves cautiously through a collapsed alley, each step stirring dust that swirls in the dim light. She clutches her pendant tightly, a faint comfort in the oppressive gloom and rising ash that darkens the sky further. From the shadows, Joran steps forward, his mechanical arm clicking softly with each movement. His grave expression reflects the weight of their situation as he approaches Mira silently. They exchange whispered plans about a rumored safe zone beyond the ash fields, weighing the risks of venturing into the unknown. The promise of refuge sparks a cautious hope amidst the desolation. Nearby, Elias bends over a weathered map beside a flickering campfire, tracing convoluted routes with a gnarled finger. The firelight casts soft orange hues, contrasting the cold air and shadows around him. Following closely behind Mira and Joran, Kala darts nimbly between debris, her wide eyes filled with caution and curiosity about the path ahead. Her small figure moves like a quick shadow among ruins. The group assembles around the makeshift campfire as Mira outlines the stakes, her voice steady despite the peril. The orange glow illuminates their determined faces, a fragile warmth against the cold shadow.